There is perception of sorrow.
Of
sorrow.
Sorrow.
Let's take that. My son, my brother, my father dies. What takes place generally is I escape from it. Because I can't face this sense of tremendous danger, of loneliness, of despair. So I escape. Escape in ideology, in concepts, in a dozen ways. Now, to perceive the escape, just to perceive, not check it, not control it, not say I mustn't perceive, just to be aware, choiceless again, to aware that you are escaping. Then the escape stops. The momentum of escape is a wastage of energy. You've stopped that energy. Not you have stopped. Perception has ended the wastage. Therefore you have more energy. There is more energy. Then, when there is no escape, then you are faced with the fact of what is. That is, you have lost somebody. Death, loneliness, despair. That is exactly what is. There, again, a perception of what is.
I think I see the direction you're taking. What you want to say is that when I perceive that you are sorrowful, because I don't perceive sorrow, it doesn't exist by itself. So when I perceive that you are sorrowful, what I perceive is that you have been separated. And this is a source of sorrow, because now your father is dead and you are separated. And in perceiving that sorrow is associated with separation, or am I not perceiving that joy is associated with...
No, sir, not yet. The fact is I've lost somebody. That's a fact. Burnt, gone. And if it is something gone, finally gone. And I feel tremendously lonely. That's a fact. Lonely, without any sense of relationship, without a sense of any security. I'm completely at the end.
Many people speak of this as saying, I am empty now.
Yeah, empty. There is an awareness of this emptiness, of this loneliness, of this despair. I said, when you don't escape, you conserve the energy. Now, there is this conservation of energy when I'm facing the fear of my loneliness. I meet it. You are aware of it. There is an awareness of this fear of loneliness.
But now how can you give your undivided attention to someone whom you have lost? Simply and finally.
I've lost him finally. But now we're examining the state of the mind that has lost.
Yes, we're trying to understand.
Right. The mind that it says, I've lost everything. I'm really in a desperate sorrow. Right? And there is fear. See that fear. Don't run away, don't escape, don't try to smother it by courage and all the rest of it. See that fear. Be choicelessly aware of that fear. Then in that awareness, fear disappears. It does disappear.
Yes.
Then you have now greater energy.
Yes, and we've all experienced that, how seeing fear disarms fear. Yes.
Next, what is there? Why is there sorrow? What is sorrow? Self-pity.
Well, when it's associated with anxiety or fear, then we will have to call it self-pity.
Self-pity.
Yes.
What does that mean, self-pity? You see, that means me is more important than the person who's dead.
And so you didn't give your undivided attention to
I
that
never
person.
loved that man.
Precisely, yes.
My child never loved that child.
Yes.
I never loved my wife or husband, sister. It is there I discover there is in this state of awareness, there is the discovery that love never existed.
Or in the discovery of a sorrow which is associated with grief or with separation or with fear, there's the discovery that love has been horribly limited.
And not like
if
I
existed
didn't have
at all,
it. I
just
couldn't
didn't have
have
it.
it.
Yes.
Love means something entirely different. So now I've got there is tremendous energy. You follow? Said, not escape, no fear, this sense of self-pity, concern about myself, my anxieties. So there is this, out of this sense of sorrow, there is this bubbling energy, which is really love.
Which is really love. Yes, yes. So now we have discovered that when one gives his undivided attention to another...
And no, I have not given my attention to the person who is dead, my father, my son, my brother.
No.
I have given there has been attention to the state of my mind, the mind which says, I suffer.
Yes, but we have been trying to examine what I suffer means in the context of what choiceless attention means.
So I find love is a total attention.
Love is a total attention.
Without any division.
In a sense...
I think this is really important because, you see, sir, for us love is pleasure. Sexual, other ways. Love is pleasure. And love is fear, love is jealousy, love is possessiveness, domination, aggression. You follow? We use that word to cover up all this. Love of God, love of man, love of, country, love of so on, so on. All that is the love of my concern about myself.
Yes, all of that is self-love.
Obviously.
But it's the me that is being loved, not the self that is being loved.
That's no love. That's a tremendous discovery. That requires great honesty to say, well, by Joe, I've never really loved anybody. I pretended, I've exploited, I have adjusted myself to somebody, but the fact that I have never known what it means to love, that's a tremendous honesty, sir. To say that I thought I loved and I never found it. Now I've come upon something which is real, which is I've watched what is and moved from there. There is an awareness of what is, and that awareness moves. It's a living thing, not comes to a conclusion.
Now, why is it that in our attempt to pursue the question of undivided attention or choiceless attention or simple seeing, that we very naturally slipped into the question, and I think it's not really logical, it's very naturally slipped into the question of simple loving as opposed to fictitious or fraudulent loving or conditioned loving. There must be something about the loving and the seeing process which is so similar that we can slip from seeing to loving and really be discussing the same thing. And as we move, well, move is not a good word.
No,
as we become aware of as we develop this undivided attention or this choiceless awareness.
Not, if I may suggest, don't use the word, humbly suggest, not the develop, that means time.
That's why.
Be aware.
Be aware. Yeah, we're struggling with words because
be aware of the carpet, the color, the shape, the form. Be aware of that. Don't say, I like, don't like, this is good, this. Just be aware of it. And then from that grows the flame of awareness, if one can so call it. You see?
But you see, haven't you said the same thing in different words by saying, be aware of the other, of the carpet, of the tree, of the universe that within which you live, and then you translate into another level of perception, and you say, love the carpet, love the tree, love the universe, and you don't feel that there's a difference between being aware or seeing undividedly and loving undividedly or unconditionally.
Sir, when you are so aware, there is that quality of love. You don't have to say be or not be. It is there. It's like a perfume in a flower. It is there.